If you thought the drama surrounding Prince Harry and Meghan Markle had finally hit rock bottom, think again. What's unfolding now is darker, more disturbing, and more deeply personal than anything we've seen before. Whispers from behind. The palace gates and explosive on-air commentary are painting a picture of total chaos, one where mental health, manipulation, and raw ambition collide in a spectacular implosion of royal proportions. Before we go further, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Over half of you watching haven't subscribed, and trust Mule. Want to stay updated as this scandal spirals deeper? Tap the bell so you never miss a single moment. Now, let's talk about what really happened. According to multiple sources, Prince Harry was found unconscious in his California mansion. The one who discovered him wasn't Meghan, and it wasn't a family member. It was his longtime bodyguard. A man who's protected Harry for years, even through his most erratic moments, was the one who called for help. The urgency was real. Harry had to be rushed to the hospital. And insiders say it wasn't just dehydration or fatigue, this was serious and it's raising red flags everywhere. Thomas Markle Jr. didn't mince words when asked who might be behind this disturbing spiral. He didn't just point the finger at Meghan. He brought up Doria Ragland to Meghan's mother. According to Thomas, both women may have played roles in encouraging behavior that led Harry down this dangerous path. It's a claim so outrageous and unfiltered. It might seem like tabloid baton, till you realize people close to the situation are echoing the same concerns. Lady Colin Campbell, a woman who spent decades inside the royal orbit, says she's not surprised at all. She believes Harry has long been a deeply disturbed individual, even before Meghan came into the picture. From his childhood struggles to Diana's own mental health during pregnancy, Lady C lays out a case that Harry has always been vulnerably an open wound looking for validation and identity. But she also says Meghan didn't help. She exploited that vulnerability, weaponized it. And now, we may be watching the consequences unfold in real time. What's more chilling is Lady C's stark warning from her earlier books. Years ago, she wrote that the royal family feared Meghan might lead Harry down a path of self-destruction and that destruction might one day become irreversible. That moment, it seems, is no longer just a hypothetical. But this isn't just about one emergency call or a single incident. It's about a pattern. It's about the slow erosion of a man who once represented the rebellious yet lovable heart of the royal family. The soldier, the humanitarian, the young prince who walked behind his mother's casket and earned the world's sympathy, that Harry is gone. What remains is a shell, a man isolated, defeated, and visibly deteriorating under the harsh light of public scrutiny. Even former allies are beginning to retreat. Us Weekly, a magazine that used to go out of its way to protect Harry and Meghan's image, recently ran a cover story comparing Harry to Prince William, and for once they didn't sugarcoat it. They admitted Harry lacks a clear purpose, a real role, or any form of respectable influence since Megxit. That's not the kind of narrative you expect from a publication that once bent over backwards to paint Harry and Meghan as progressive icons. The tide is turning in fast. Now here's where it gets darker. Lady C didn't just criticize Meghan's behavior, she made a bone-chilling observation. If Harry were to meet a tragic fate, Meghan could stand to benefit massively, not just in sympathy, but financially. As his wife and the mother of his children, she would likely control his estate, their assets, and the children's inheritances. That's not speculation, it's legal precedent. Think Gloria Vanderbilt's notorious custody battle in the 1930s. This scenario would be the modern equivalent. And Meghan, whether intentionally or not, could be poised to play the role of the bereaved yet conveniently wealthy widow. Of course, no one is saying she orchestrated anything, but the point being made is simple and devastating. Meghan is an opportunist, and this tragedy, should it worsen, might be her biggest opportunity yet. But this saga isn't unfolding in a vacuum. Behind the scenes, Netflix, the couple's biggest media ally, is shifting. Once fiercely loyal, even Netflix is showing signs of abandonment. Instead of backing Harry and Meghan's shaky ventures, they're now announcing collaborations with King Charles himself. And not just any Project Tan exclusive documentary marking 50 years of the prince's trust, co-produced with Idris Elba. The symbolism is staggering. Netflix is choosing the crown over the chaos, the future over the fallout. The irony couldn't be sharper. The same platform that handed Harry and Meghan the golden ticket, millions of dollars, and global reaches, now elevating the very institution they left behind. Lady C calls it what it is, a royal checkmate. And what about Ted Sarandos, the Netflix CEO who went all in on Meghan and Harry? Sources say there's turmoil at the top. Executives are scrambling to manage the fallout, spinning failures as noble experiments, while boardroom whispers suggest Sarandos may be fighting for his professional life. He bet on Meghan. Now that the brand is collapsing, so might his own influence, and still, through all this, Harry looks lost. Recent video appearances have shown a man who's not even trying to hide his detachment. A pre-recorded speech to the German military was flat and robotic. A sustainability clip from China felt like it was filmed under duress. No spark, no conviction. Just a man going through the motions, barely present, as if he's already given up, or worse, doesn't care what comes next. And that might be the most tragic part of all. When someone's light goes out so publicly, you can't help but ask, where are the people who are supposed to care? Where is the support system? And more pointedly, why does it seem like Meghan and Doria are always curiously absent when Harry is in distress? That's exactly what Thomas Markle Jr. pointed out in his recent comments. He didn't hold back accusing both Meghan and her mother Doria. He painted a damning picture. Harry being set up, perhaps, unintentionally, as the fall guy in a twisted narrative of manipulation and control. At one point, Thomas even suggested that Meghan might see more value in Harry's downfall than in his survival. A comment like that would be dismissed as insane if not for the surrounding pattern. There's been a subtle, consistent effort to separate Harry from everyone who once had his best interest at heart, his family, his longtime friends, his military connections. Lady C calls it what it is, psychological isolation. And when someone's vulnerable, that kind of isolation isn't just damaging, it's dangerous in psychology. It's a textbook tactic used by manipulative personalities. First, remove the support structures. Then, reinforce dependence. And finally, take control of the narrative. Meghan, intentionally or not, has become the only voice Harry listens to. But here's the terrifying twist. What if that voice isn't grounded in love, but in ambition? Because make no mistake, Meghan didn't marry a prince, she married a brand. A global icon with inherited clout, and when that brand starts breaking down, the question becomes, does she step in to help or step aside to capitalize? Lady C has been warning for years that Meghan is an actress on the world's biggest stage, always performing, always calculating. From wardrobe choices to interview tears, everything is curated. It looks like Meghan is rehearsing her next role. The misunderstood widow, betrayed by the world, resilient in the face of grief. Sound far-fetched? Maybe. But let's not forget, this is a woman who staged pap shots. Strategic narrative control is her specialty. Even the couple's children have become part of the storyline, with rumors swirling about surrogacy, birth certificates, and vanishing godparents. The mystery surrounding Archie and Lilibet grows deeper by the day. Every decision, every dollar, every public image would be hers to control - unchallenged. This isn't a fairy tale. The royal family is watching but not intervening. Why? Because they've tried, but every effort was either rejected or weaponized. Private calls became public leaks. Family gestures turned into ammunition for Oprah's couch. And after enough betrayals, even royalty learns to walk away. What remains is a broken link. A prince with no kingdom, no purpose, and now possibly no health. The symbolism is crushing. Harry left the monarchy to find himself and ended up disappearing. But Meghan? She's still playing the game. Her recent moves make it clear. Her sights are no longer on royal titles, but on American power circles. Hollywood, Silicon Valley, political donors, these are her new targets. The Markle brand is evolving, shedding the crown and adopting the language of influence, diversity, and empowerment. But there's a problem. From variety to people, the tone has shifted from breathless admiration to cautious distance. She's not untouchable anymore. And when media loyalty fades, the foundation cracks. Now Netflix, her supposed ally, is jumping ship, openly promoting King Charles, partnering with British institutions, and releasing content that undercuts Meghan's narrative. This isn't just a strategic pivot. It's a signal, a clear message to the world. The crown is back in charge, and the exiles are being left behind. Ted Sarandos, Netflix's CEO and longtime Meghan supporter, is rumored to be facing internal backlash. Boardroom insiders say his loyalty to the Sussexes is seen as a liability, not an asset. And while he scrambles to spin their projects as prestige content, numbers tell a different story, failing ratings, lukewarm reviews, and a public that's moved on. In Meghan's world, failure is always someone else's fault. But even the best PR can't cover up a sinking ship. And now, even her marriage appears to be fraying. The divorce rumors won't go away. Multiple sources have reported that Meghan has retained legal counsel, and Harry's frequent solo appearances suggest growing distance. He looks more isolated than ever, physically, emotionally. Meghan could lead Harry to his own undoing. It's not just the palace that's bracing for impact, it's the public too. For years, Harry and Meghan positioned themselves as the voice of progress, of modern love, of breaking free from outdated tradition. But now, even the most forgiving, fans are questioning their judgment. How did it go from a fairy tale escape to a public unraveling? Lady Colin Campbell, never one to sugarcoat, says it plainly. Harry is a mess. You can see it in his posture, his eyes, his voice. The man who once exuded mischief and confidence now appears hollowed out, exhausted, and emotionally worn down. It's not just aging or fatherhood, it's something deeper, something broken. Those who understand psychological trauma recognize the signs: disassociation, defeat, a loss of identity. And according to experts, when someone has been emotionally isolated from their family, locked in a tightly controlled world with a dominant partner, and then stripped of their professional purpose, the mental toll is catastrophic. That's the cocktail Harry's been drinking for 5 years straight, and just when it seems things couldn't get worse, the outside world starts closing in. Media speculation intensifies. Paparazzi chase them down again. Stories leaks. Petty, some disturbing. Even their neighbors in Montecito reportedly want them gone. The couple who sought peace in California now find themselves surrounded by noise of their own making. Even Meghan's attempts to rebrand herself are falling flat. From the Tig reboot to her new lifestyle brand experiments, the response has been lukewarm at best. What was once celebrated as savvy reinvention now reeks of desperation. Audiences aren't buying the polished aesthetics or curated authenticity anymore. They want answers. They want transparency. And Meghan, she's still delivering monologues, not dialogue. Meanwhile, Doria Ragland's presence or lack thereof is drawing renewed suspicion. She was once seen as the quiet, grounding influence in Meghan's life, but her past too is being re-examined. Rumors about drug use, old legal trouble, and strange disappearances during key moments in Meghan and Harry's journey continue to swirl. Thomas, Markle Jr. didn't mince words about her either. In his own brutal commentary, he suggested Doria wasn't just passive, but possibly an enabler. The kind of mother who may have turned a blind eye when it was convenient or worse, actively supported the chaos for her own benefit. And what does that mean for Harry? That the two most influential women in his life right now, Meghan and Doria, may be the very ones pulling him further from reality. Now, let's zoom out, because this isn't just about Harry's health or Meghan's ambition, it's about a cultural reckoning. For the first time in years, people are questioning the story they were sold. The prince and the actress, the escape from oppression, the brave stand against monarchy. All of it, once glorified by the media, is now under forensic examination. Was it ever real, or was it always a performance? What's more, even Meghan's own family is speaking out louder than ever. From her father's heartbreaking pleas to her siblings' media crusades, the message is consistent. Meghan isn't who she claims to be. They call her cold, manipulative, fame-obsessed, and while you might dismiss that as family bitterness, it's getting harder to ignore when their predictions keep coming true. Lady C and Thomas Jr. both agree on one thing. Meghan knows exactly what she's doing. Whether it's media manipulation, image control, or interpersonal domination, she's no rookie. She's a veteran actress after all. And according to Lady C, she's playing the role of a lifetime at Harry's expense. It's a painful conclusion, but it's not baseless. Harry's public spiral, his visible weight loss, his glassy-eyed speeches, his complete separation from anyone who once grounded him tells a story no royal statement ever could. This is a man unmoored, and the world is watching. Even King Charles, ever the dignified monarch, seems to be shifting his strategy. Instead of trying to pull Harry back, he's moving forward without him. By embracing Netflix and partnering with Idris Elba on a project that celebrates Black British excellence through the Prince's Trust, Charles is sending a powerful message. The monarchy doesn't need Harry and Meghan. It's bigger than both of them, and that's not just a PR win, it's a strategic reset. The royal family, long accused of being out of touch, is now showing it can adapt without compromising its identity. Meanwhile, Harry and Meghan are stuck in a brand limbo, no longer royals, but not quite celebrities either, which leads to the most haunting question of all. What happens to Harry if the world stops watching? Because the cameras may turn away, the headlines will fade, and when the media machine finally moves on, what's left? A man without a country? A prince without purpose? A broken individual surrounded by enablers, trapped in a Californian mansion that's starting to feel like a gilded cage. And Meghan, she'll move on, reinvent herself again, attached to a new cause, a new circle, maybe even a new partner. She's done it before. But Harry, he's not built for reinvention. He was raised to serve. And now, with no one to serve, he's spiraling silently, dangerously. The tragedy here isn't just that Prince Harry is lost. It's that he might never find his way back. Because, let's face it, when the world turned on him, he didn't just lose the public's favor, he lost his identity. The once proud soldier, advocate for mental health and global humanitarian has been reduced to a shadow. A man propped up in staged videos delivering robotic lines with glassy eyes and slumped shoulders. A man whose pain is visible in every frame, yet no one close to him seems ready or willing to intervene. And as for Meghan, the question isn't whether she's aware of his condition. The real question is whether she sees it as a liability or an asset. According to Lady Colin Campbell, Meghan's emotional detachment and strategic calculation are what allow her to continue pressing forward, undeterred by Harry's decline. She's not guiding him out of the darkness. She's walking ahead, letting the darkness consume him as she builds her next brand move. Some might say that's unfair, that it paints Meghan as too cold, too cynical, but the patterns speak volumes. From Oprah to Spotify to Netflix, every business move, every public statement, every carefully timed leak has served one purpose: to elevate Meghan. Even when Harry's image crumbled, she stayed on script. It's no coincidence that just as these rumors of Harry's hospitalization and emotional collapse were gaining momentum, Meghan ramped up her own public engagements. A new product here, a staged photo op there, all timed for maximum distraction. It's not damage control, it's image preservation and Harry's story. It's a subplot, a side narrative in Meghan's ongoing production. Meanwhile, the royal family continues to keep their distance, and perhaps that's the saddest chapter of all. Because whether you love or loathe the monarchy, there's one undeniable truth. They are Harry's only real connection to who he was. Without them, he floats untethered from history, responsibility, and reality. And no amount of California sunshine can substitute for the loss of legacy. In many ways, Harry has become the ultimate cautionary tale, not just about fame or royalty, but about what happens when someone gives up everything: family, duty, purpose, for a relationship that might not have been built to last. It's a brutal reminder that love, no matter how passionate or well-intentioned, can't survive in a vacuum of isolation and manipulation. Lady C said it best: Harry's day has passed, and the saddest part is, it didn't have to be this way. He had the world's empathy. He had the platform. He had the means to build a legacy greater than any crown could offer. But instead of forging a new path, he let himself be rewritten into someone else's story, a story filled with controversy, broken ties, and now, the possibility of personal ruin, and the world watches on, some with pity, others with frustration, and many with the same sentiment. Lady C expressed, not hatred, but apathy, a quiet, heavy indifference that says, we cared, but we can't anymore. And once the world stops caring, there's no headline big enough to bring it back. So what now? Will Harry finally wake up? Will anyone pull him from the wreckage before it's too late? Or will this modern royal tragedy play out to its inevitable, devastating conclusion? We don't have those answers yet. But what we do have is a front row seat to the unraveling, a real-time fall from grace, powered not by scandal alone but by silence, surrender, and unchecked ambition. And make no mistake, the final act hasn't played out. Not yet. The headlines may slow, but the consequences will ripple for years. Through the monarchy, through their children, through a generation raised on spectacle over substance. If you've made it this far, then you're clearly not just watching, you're witnessing. So do yourself a favor, hit that subscribe button. This story is far from over, and the next chapter could be even more shocking than the last. Click the bell so you don't miss the next bombshell, because in this saga, silence is never the end. It's just the pause before the storm. Stay tuned. This isn't just royal drama. It's a psychological reckoning, one the world will remember.